Little rookie-on-rookie action. Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs in Houston to take on another lottery pick in Amen Thompson and the Rockets. First quarter. Here's another lottery pick from the previous season. Jabari Smith Jr. throwing it down. Not to be outdone by this dude. Wembanyama going right at Smith and scoring. Wemby finding Cedi Osman inside. Beautiful dime from the rookie. Osman gives the Spurs an early 2-point lead. That was some good, Wemby. Now here's some bad. Tariq Eason helps force the turnover. Thompson with the layup. And then here's Eason keeping it himself, throwing it down. He had himself a second half. More on him in a second. First things first, show some love where it's due. Alex Şengün and Van Vliet playing a little back and forth action. Van Vliet dumps it off. Şengün does the rest. Malachi Branham, a little now you see me, now you don't on Şengün. Spurs had a little fun with the big fella. Second half, Wembanyama going right back at Jabari Smith Jr. and finding more success. And now Wemby throwing it down on Şengün. Why were y'all picking on the big fella? Victor Wembanyama, arguably one of his best plays thus far in his young career, the poster dunk. Well, you can't say Şengün didn't try. 15 points, 18 rebounds for Wembanyama. Eason in attack mode, doing it himself and scoring. Van Vliet in the fourth. That three is good. The Rockets are now up by 7. A low-scoring affair relative to today's NBA. This game was taken over by Tyree Eason. He scores 14 of his 18 points in the fourth quarter, and the Rockets get the double-digit win, 93-82. There's been a lot of negative chatter surrounding Zion Williamson. He's looking to keep it positive as his Pelicans host the Minnesota Timberwolves. Big-time Western Conference matchup. Let's show Kentucky some love first. Karl-Anthony Towns nails the three. On the other end, the Dookie, Zion Williamson, grabs the board and throws it down. Back to that Kentucky love. Look at Cat splitting the double and scoring. Minnesota up a point. More Duke love. Brandon Ingram nails the three. And then B.I. with the second quarter winding down. The long three goes glass. Pelicans up by 7 as we took a break early in the third. It's Zion doing it himself. Mr. Williamson with the English on that finish. The somehow, some way for his team, he made a play. That's around Cat. That's around Gobert. We're still in the third. CJ McCollum joins this highlight. He had 23 points. Pelicans trying to get away from the T-Wolves. Not so fast, though. It's a couple of big-time buckets from Shake Milton, and then there's McLaughlin beating the third quarter with a buzzer-beater three. We got a tight one. McCollum says, no, we don't. Pelicans open this thing up in the fourth quarter. Zion's going to hustle, track down the loose rock, and score. They said he don't play hard. Williamson begs to differ. Zion, a man amongst boys type of game. 13 of 17 from the field. A season-high 36 points, 5 rebounds. The Pelicans down the T-Wolves, 121-107. Good game to watch. DeMar DeRozan and the Chicago Bulls looking to take out some of their frustrations on Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks. First thing first, DeRozan, not so good, turns the rock over. Dame Lillard finds Giannis. Milwaukee already up 16-7, but the Bulls got some fight in them. DeRozan no longer turning the basketball over, making plays for the shot. DeRozan inside, and then DeRozan from the mid-range area. Up fake, up fake, up fake, up fake. Deuce counts plus the foul. Chicago hanging around. Then those Milwaukee role players step it up. It's Bobby Portis for 3. And then Chris Middleton out the post area. On his own DeMar DeRozan type of grind. They probably put in the same type of time. And then Brook Lopez joins the fun inside for the throwdown. Right before the half, Damian Lillard nails the trifecta. Milwaukee's up by double digits. Sitting pretty in Wisconsin. Third quarter, Kobe White says, hold up. Kobe White taking over this basketball game. The Bulls are down just a deuce. White still hot. Nails the three-pointer. Kobe White had 33 points, 6 rebounds. Chicago's right in this thing in the fourth. Malik Beasley, an easy throwdown. He had 19 points. Giannis had 20 points in the fourth and OT. You see that tease right there? That's called a tease in the business. DeRozan with the Bulls down 5-0. Patrick Williams, yes. It's a 2-point game, 7 seconds to go. Chicago's got to have a bucket. DeRozan delivers. DeMar had 41 points and 11 dimes. No timeouts for Milwaukee. They got to go. Game time. Is it Dame time? No, it is not from half court. We're going to overtime. Bulls up a point in the extra period. Lopez says, now you're not. He had 19 points as well. I mentioned to you the Greek Freak had 20 in the fourth in OT. There's a couple of the 20. Damian Lillard also doing what he can to chip in on a Milwaukee Bucks win. Giannis goes 32 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists. Dame Dollar had 14 points and 9 assists. The Bucks get the OT win over the Bulls. Paolo Banchero and the very hot Orlando Magic got some company in town. It's Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. First quarter, Banchero. Look at him going right at the chest of Cavalier defender Dean Wade and coming away with a bucket. Banchero showing a lot of great signs year 2, just like he did year 1. Darius Garland on the other end, nailing the 3. He was the Cavs' leading scorer in this one. More on them in a second. But first things first, what up, Franz Wagner? That deuce counts plus the foul. Cole Anthony on the same type of time as Wagner, probably put in the same type of grind. Anthony with the deuce. Nearly turns it over is Jalen Suggs. He tracks down the loose rock. Vaza goes up top to Gogo Bataza, who throws down the alley-oop. We're still in the second. Mitchell lining it up and knocking it down. Donovan Mitchell had 22 points. Garland with the left right before the end of the second quarter. It's the Cavs up in the third. Banchero going glass and 1. Now Banchero, don't mind if I do. How y'all gonna forget to guard him? Paolo now just taking over this basketball game. The Magic take a 13-point lead. That's good. Paolo, here's some bad. Trying to defend Garland, and he comes down awkwardly on that ankle. Nobody in Orlando wants to see that. Paolo will leave the game. His night's over, right? Not so fast. Just keep watching the highlight. But as Paolo leaves the game, the Cavaliers will make a run. It's Mitchell nailing the deuce. Garland kind of hanging out at that 3-point line. This is all a part of his 36-point game. The Cavs are inching back, but look who's back, Banchero. It's like, bruh, this is my game. Even if my ankle not feeling great, I'm gonna put this one away. He nails the deuce. Banchero finished with 20 points, 10 rebounds. Most importantly, on one sprained ankle, he helps the Orlando Magic get the 10-point win. Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets in the ATL defending their crown against the Hawks. First quarter, if you're a Nuggets fan, this is the only thing you don't want to see throughout the season. As Young finds DeJounte Murray on the 3, it's not about that. It's about Jamal Murray trying to keep up with Ice Trae and steps on the foot of his big fella Jokic, injures his ankle. He is a trooper, so he keep playing. But first things first, Ice Trae putting on the show. Young with the 3, and then Trae floats it in. The Hawks are up. Murray's back, but he's got a running mate for the first half while he figures his ankle out. How about Julian Strawther putting on a show, a career-high 6 3-pointers. He had 19 in the first half, a career-high 22 for the game. Nuggets hanging around. You already know, Mr. You-Know-Who gonna step up at some point. Jokic with the score, and then Jokic with the find to Murray. Ankle looks good there. Nikolai doing it all. Points, rebounds, assists. Y'all know what he do. Jokic in the third. still grinding. And then Murray, now the ankle seems to be doing great. Look better than it did before. Murray nails the crazy three. Aaron Gordon, now the Nuggets are just showing out on the road. But the Hawks would make a run. It was spearheaded by Bogdan Bogdanovic. This all a part of his career night. 40 points for Bogdan. The Hawks trying to get back into this basketball game. This doesn't help. Young's trying to attack that Denver defense. He does not like this no call. And it does look like Watson whacked him twice, grabbed the arm, maybe swiped him. Trae Young would be ejected after getting technical fouls. And obviously that is no bueno for Atlanta. Murray somehow, some way made this a really good game after getting hurt in the first quarter. He had 29 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. The Nuggets get the 7-point dub. Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers figuring things out. They got the Portland Trail Blazers in their building, which really means nothing but good things could happen, right? Clippers playing some great team ball. How about Kawhi on the find to James Harden, who scores? More defense leading the offense for the LAC is Harden this time to PG-13, who finds Kawhi. Sharon is caring. Paul George this time around on a do-it-himself mission. When your game's so nice, you ain't got to really just pass it every time. And you know this one ain't going to pass it every time. The bearded one nails the three. So we're just done passing now in Los Angeles. George nails the deuce. But at the half, though, all things said, Blazers down 166-65. Third quarter, Anthony Simons nails the three. Other end, not a lot of defense being played in this game, as you can tell. Harden with the easy drive past Simons and the Blazers defense. We're still in the third. George finds Kawhi one more again. See, we're back passing again. Scoot Henderson, a up fake on Terrence Mann. How about Scoot? The rookie nails the three. We're still in the third. Brody, remember me? Russell Westbrook with the Euro step. Little boy day tomorrow. Shade Sharp catches Daniel Tice slipping, reminiscent of Harden's crossover when he was a Rocket in LA against the Clippers. As we close out the third, Kawhi nails the three, but the Blazers ain't going away. It's Simons, another three. Simons had 38 points. The Blazers are up by 1. Clippers are not done though. It's George inside. PG-13 had 28 and 8. It's a 3-point game. Look at this play made by James Harden. After review, it is ruled that the ball is off of the Blazers, who needed a bucket down 3. Clippers not going to give him that opportunity. Harden with the one big defensive play. That also, he had 27 and 7. Kawhi led them in scoring with 34 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. It is the Los Angeles Clippers outlasting the Portland Trail Blazers 132-127. Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics set for battle with Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And yeah, this one was one of them. When these two teams get together, it's usually going down to the last couple minutes. This one was no different. Donovan Mitchell kicking his highlight off with some fantastic buckets. The Cavs are up by double digits. The Celtics ain't going nowhere though. Jason Tatum flies in the sky for the deuce. And now Celtics down 5 in the second. It's Brown finding Derek White. But in his bag of reset, he nails the 3. And then Brown this time the recipient of a Drew Holiday dunk. 1 minute to go in the second. It's Darius Garland nailing the 3. The Cavs trailed this one by a point as we took an intermission. Third quarter, Mitchell, a little nails the 3. And then Donovan still grinding. Mitchell, another 3. 29 points for Donovan Mitchell. Cavs are up for a brief stint because Drew Holiday and the Celtics come alive. They nail the 3. Garland, the deuce is good from the mid-range area. Kristaps Porzingis spinning, winning, and dealing. There's nobody on that Cleveland team that want smoke with the big fella in white and green. Mitchell ties this game up at 106. Some back and forth action. But when it's winning time, the Celtics dynamic duo do what they do best. Score buckets, make plays, win games. Tatum and Brown both dropped 25 apiece. Jaylen Brown says, "You too little." Maybe he was right. The Celtics get the 120-113 win over the Cavaliers. Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers have found their groove. They always put up a lot of points against the Sacramento Kings, and trust and believe this one will be no different. James Harden catches De'Aaron Fox, and Sacramento slipping in the first to steal the easy score. Now Harden, with the Clippers clearly cognizant of what he's about to do, still finds Kawhi Leonard on the easy bucket. Russell Westbrook stopping what would have been a turnover, gets it to PG-13, who gets the and one. Kawhi has been feeling it of recent. Let's take you back to the last game. Daniel Tice got crossed up by Shaedon Sharpe with a little right before the end of the first. Keegan Murray puts Tice on the ground again, but he can't nail the three. And after that, Daniel Tice is tired of the disrespect. He gets aggressive. He misses, but Brody cleans up the mess. Now Tice doing the disrespecting. Tice throwing down the dunk with JaVale McGee trying his best efforts. His best wasn't good enough. It's a 16-point game. Kawhi off his pivot. No one does that in the league but Kawhi, by the way. That come off the up fake and then go off the jump step into the score off the floater. Nobody does that but him. Paul George and Ivica Zubac help increase this Clippers lead to 23 points. This one was emphatically over. Leonard, by the way, had 31 points. Clippers roll past the Kings, 119-99. Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets in Chicago to take on Nikola Vucevic and the Bulls. First quarter, it's Nikola Vucevic helping his Bulls make a play. DeMar DeRozan ends up with the three ball. He knocks it down. Chicago down by a deuce. Other end, it's Nikola Jokic making his move on Vucevic. Second quarter, Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, getting it done in December. That don't make sense. Reggie nails the three, doubles the Nuggets lead. And then I don't know what this is about, but Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan have great chemistry. I bet you my last dollar they're the closest of friends. Jackson finds Jordan for the alley-oop. Other end, Vucevic nails a tough jump shot. Jokic trying to do what Vucevic is doing, make plays for his team, but he feels like the refs hating on him. Vucevic did not get called for a foul here on Jokic, and Jokic doesn't like it, barks at the ref, actually ends up getting ejected. Now, here's why this is super interesting. There are a lot of Serbian fans that live in Chicago. They actually booed the refs for ejecting the road team's best player. They wanted to see Jokic. Instead, they got the Kobe White show. He nails the three more of them in the second half, though. It is Reggie Jackson back on his grind. And then Michael Porter Jr. on the same type of time. MPJ had 17.7 boards. As previously mentioned, the Kobe White show was in full effect, though, with his team down 10. Kobe White makes plays. As you see on the other end, the Nuggets, they can make them as well. Aaron Gordon with the catch off the half pass from DeAndre Jordan. Kobe White, by the way, had 27 points, 8 assists. It is to null and void because Reggie Jackson pretty much matches him point for point. He had 25 points and 6 assists to lead the Nuggets, who were without Jokic for a lot of this game, to a 114-106 road victory. If you want excitement, Dallas, Texas had it for you. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers trying to take over Luka's building. American Airlines Center, the host of a fun matchup between the Mavs and Lakers. Action all over the place. Anthony Davis with a dunk, not to be outdone by Tim Hardaway Jr. in transition with a dunk of his own. Luka catches LeBron slipping. Also gets a little bit of that work to AD as well. The Don nails the three over the Lakers' two best players. Tarek Lively can't believe it. Believe it, bro. He's that good. You should know that by now, Lively. You've been the recipient of some of that Luka greatness. Luka keeping it for himself on that possession and scoring. On the other end, Anthony Davis got some really big stat lines this season. This one was no different, but Luka and the Mavs could care less. Luka with another find to Tim Hardaway Jr. Another easy dunk. Tim Hardaway Jr. had himself a game. Luka finally turns it over, and LeBron makes the Mavs pay. Year 21 where? Rui Hachimura finds the king, who finds the rim. And then LeBron with the steal. A couple years ago, this one would have been a dunk too, but LeBron gracefully lays it up. Lakers hanging around in the third. It's the kid from Akron nailing the three. We're still in the third. See, Derek Lively, you know how great Luka can be. Beautiful lob from the Don. Luka had 17 assists to go along with 33 points. Anthony Davis had a crazy stat line as well. 37 points, 11 boards. At the end of the third, the Lakers have taken control of this one. They're up a deuce. But Dante Exum, Luka, and Tim Hardaway Jr. were the stars of the fourth. Exum nails the three. He was wide open the whole quarter. More on him in a sec. But first things first, let's pay homage to the king. LeBron had 33, 8, and 9. Some crazy stat lines in this game. Mavs up by 3, under 5 to go. Exum's open again. He had 17 fourth quarter points, 26 for the game. THJ had 32 points himself. Here's Exum, open again. Lakers gotta have a stop, under a minute to go. Dante says you're not gonna get it. Mavs, minority owner, now that sounds crazy. Mark Cuban showing love to Dante as the Mavs get the big time home victory over the Lakers. Fresh off of their in-season tournament win too. Mavs take it though by 2. Wild game to watch from the desert. Steve Kerr with a little bit of a troll. Remember last time out, he said it was too loud in Phoenix. So he came in rocking the headphones as Bradley Beal gives it a go. The Suns hosting the Warriors. First quarter, Steph hosting a crazy shot party. Booker tries to one-up him. He misses, but hey, you got to clean up what you messed up sometime in life. We're tied up. Booker no longer missing at all. Nailing the deuce. The Suns are up. Curry finds Chris Paul. Say, y'all not up for so long. He nails the three. In the second, the Warriors take full control of this when they're up 11. How about this find? CP3 to Jonathan Kuminga, just a beautiful dime. The athlete Kuminga does the rest. The Suns still hanging around though at home. Yusuf Nurkic knocking down threes when he wasn't getting knocked out. You'll see what I mean by that in a second. Booker nailing the juice. As we get closer and closer to the half, the Suns make a run to tie this one up. And then Chris Paul finds Steph to untie this one, returning a favor. Third quarter, here's where the action really gets testy. Draymond looking for the rock. He ends up finding Nurkic's face. He claims he was grabbed. The refs will review this one. Clearly, Draymond swings and connects with Yusuf's grill. This is another ejection for Draymond Green, which has become the theme of the back end of his career. And it immediately impacts his Warriors team as Steph gets the deuce there. By the way, Steph struggled from the field in this one. I know we've shown a lot of his mates. Curry was 8 of 24 from the field. Klay was 2 of 10 from the field. Andrew Wiggins was 1 of 7 from the field. As you see, Bradley Beal and Devin Booker now cooking the Warriors. At this point, it becomes the Devin Booker show off the steal. It's D-Book reversing. 16 points for Beal, a lot more for Booker. He doubled him up with 32. D-Book got the Suns up 109-96. Very random. The Warriors make a last-minute run as Steve Kerr decides to pull Klay, Wiggins, Looney, and then obviously Draymond got ejected out of this game. Brandon Pajinski helps lead a run. The Warriors are down 3 in the closing seconds. Steph Curry had more time to get a better look, but hey, he's the greatest shooter of all time. You can't question him, right? His 3 to tie is no good, and the Suns hold on to win 119-116. Welcome to the latest episode of the Who's Ferro podcast. I am yours truly, the one and only Ferro. You know what we're talking about. We're talking all Golden State Warriors because I believe them to be a mess. And I'm talking about way worse than what the record may say. What is it, 10 out of 13 games lost for Golden State? If you're rocking out with your boy, thank you so much for tapping into a video. If you're enjoying the great quality content, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Let me say this real quick, though. I'm somebody that appreciates constructive criticism. I take it on the chin. I think the people who view the content have the right to say what they want. My only thing is, though, if you're enjoying the great quality content and saying nothing, that's my concern. I would appreciate, number one, if you're enjoying the content, drop a comment every now and then. Let your boy know that you're rocking out with me. And if you got something constructive to say on the negative end, if I make a mistake on a video every now and then, I am human. Let me know the negative, but also, hey, maybe point out something positive. Is that too hard to ask of the people nowadays? I do appreciate the time, the love, and support, though. Let's get into the Warriors. They lost a game that, for all intents and purposes, they should have won. They're going against the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix. No Kevin Durant, a last-minute scratch. The Warriors take a pretty nice lead third quarter. They're rolling. They got everything going in their direction, their favor. And then Draymond Green commits a Draymond Green-esque foul. And by the way, they're beating the Suns despite some abysmal play from Klay Thompson. Another poor shooting game. I think he was 2 for 10. Steph Curry, 8 of 24. I know we showed you a lot of the highs, trust and believe, between that dynamic backcourt. There were a lot of lowlights. Draymond commits the foul, heard around the world, and then he's ejected. And we're going to get into Draymond's ejection more in a second, but I just wanted to highlight the fact that the Warriors are competitive in most of their games. They're not getting blown out, which to me tells me this is fixable, but time is of the essence. Devin Booker lights them up late. There's really nothing the Warriors can do from a defensive perspective. They're not a good defensive team. They wind up losing to the Suns shorthandedly, which Golden State, all things considered, is a pretty healthy group. Steve Kerr down late in that game decides to go no Wiggins, no Looney, no Klay. That's not a good sign. Obviously, he had no Draymond in favor of the Brandon Pajinskis of the world, the Jonathan Kumingas of the world. They got the clock, and the Warriors actually came back with them on the court versus their stars, really good role players. It's not looking good in Golden State.
Fields has picked up his 3rd foul. And now Green runs over Nurkic, and he'll be called for the foul, and they're going to take a look at this.
Now, let's talk about what everybody else is talking about. Draymond Green and these freaking flagrant fouls that keeps putting him out of basketball games. Let me refresh your memory real quick. 2016 NBA Finals, Game 5, Draymond hits LeBron below the belt, gets suspended for Game 6. For some reason, a lot of people think Draymond got suspended just because he hit LeBron below the belt. That's not what happened. Remember, that foul was the last of many foul points Draymond got in that playoff run. The NBA had no choice but to suspend him for Game 6. LeBron, Kyrie do their thing, Game 6, force a decisive Game 7. Remember, Draymond goes crazy Game 7. 32 points, 15 rebounds, 9 assists on 11 of 15 shooting. The best game of his career statistically. Nobody ever talks about it because it's overshadowed by the fact that he got suspended. A lot of people look at that suspension as the turning point for LeBron, Kyrie, and the Cavs. Nobody even talks about the best game of Draymond's career. Okay, now that symbolism is becoming Draymond's career in his 30s. We should just be appreciating that he's still in the league at this point, playing competitive ball. But now we're looking at Draymond's whole career differently. Like, we're forgetting how good of a player this dude was because he keeps doing these stupid, boneheaded, flagrant fouls he can't even finish a game. He's just as bad as Anthony Davis with the injuries, with swinging on people and choking people. He has become a part-time WWE star, and it's hurting the Golden State Warriors significantly. They barely win games when Draymond's not around. Hell, Draymond's barely around when Steph's not around. So pretty much right now, you're barely getting Draymond Green. If you mix in the fact that he seemed like he doesn't want to play when Steph Curry ain't playing, the fact that even when Steph's playing, there's a good chance he could get ejected because he can't argue a lot. Outside of the flagrant fouls, he does like to argue a lot. This is a mess for the Golden State Warriors that they're trying to clean up. And I'm not so sure if there's anybody in the locker room. I know Chris Paul is there, but the fact that Draymond has been pretty much given the authorization by the organization to get away with this mess for so long, I don't know if there's anybody in the locker room, anybody in the league damn near, that's got the cachet to step up to Draymond Green and say, bro, you tripping. Like, you costing us, bro. Like, we need you out there. More than most, that Warriors offense needs Draymond. Every single game, it feels like this dude is well on his way to leaving for the locker room early. He's going to miss like 20, 30 games down the stretch because he's going to be suspended for a lot of it. We'll see how the league comes down on Draymond this time around.
What a great pickup for the Warriors.
Yeah, Mike Dunleavy deserves a lot of credit. Look at Kuminga. Set up by Chris Paul, the high flyer.
Now let's swing over to the other aging Warriors star, Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson may not be physically getting ejected from basketball games like Draymond, but mentally he's gone. He's gone. Klay Thompson, I believe the weight of those injuries, the torn ACL, the torn Achilles, and the fact that he has an upcoming contract that's near its end, those talks, that pressure, the fact that he probably wants to go out with his guy Steph, the guy he came in with, it's tearing Klay up. And Steve Kerr even admitted it after the loss to the Suns, like, yo, I've given guys a very long leash, and they're not getting it done. Klay Thompson is having another egregious year shooting. And I said this before, I'll say it again. I do not believe anything is wrong with being a mid-30-year-old star and no longer the player of old. The only reason why it's a thing with Klay Thompson is because Steph Curry is still playing at such a great level. It exposes, it brings more attention to Klay Thompson's lackadaisical play. Look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. If I'm the Golden State Warriors, I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with Klay Thompson. I believe it's the reason why Bob Myers is no longer in their front office and on ESPN literally talking about nothing day in, day out. He didn't want to tell Klay Thompson, bro, I'm not giving you a max deal. According to Shams over at The Athletic recently on the FanDuel show, he said the Warriors offered Klay Thompson 2 years over $48 million, and he turned him down. I'm here to tell you right now, I don't see a world. Not only would I not give Klay the max, not only would I not give him 2 years, $48 million, I'm not so sure if I can give this guy a contract extension at all. Because as long as there's a basketball in Klay Thompson's hand, he's going to feel like the Klay Thompson of old. The results show you that he is significantly a shell of the Klay Thompson that used to be one of the greatest shooters in the league, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's only because he's next to Steph that it gets magnified in the way that it does.
He's an amazing man, and we're very happy for him. They should just name the award after him. Stephen Curry.
So the last question, what do the Warriors do now? You know, this season is still in reach, right? There's nobody that's taken off in the Western Conference. You know, the Minnesota Timberwolves have a great record, but I believe they're going to come back to the pack as the season progresses. I don't believe they're as good as their record may show they are today. The Denver Nuggets, I believe, is clearly the best team out west. I think they're the team that you do not want to play in the playoffs. But outside of that, anybody else is very beatable in the playoffs. So the Warriors still have a crack at this thing. I mean, Steph Curry's at that point where you do not want to waste any opportunity that you have with him playing healthy basketball. I mean, you got to believe some of them injuries that Steph dealt with at the beginning of his career, you got to believe at the back end they're going to come. Hopefully not. The brother does golf a lot. That's never been great on the body, right? At least, you know, not if you're trying to be a professional basketball player while you're golfing. So you got to believe those days are coming for the Warriors. Hopefully not, but you got to believe that. What do the Warriors do right now? Here's the only fix I can see, because they have floundered a couple of opportunities. You see what happens with Minnesota and see if Karl Anthony Towns is available. I've been screaming for the last couple years, go get a big. Try it out with a big. That's the one thing that Steph has never had, a dominant, down low, playing out of the post big. Now, again, Minnesota's rolling right now. Maybe they don't want to do a deal like that because they feel as if, though, they got to ride this thing out. They didn't give Cat all that money. That might be the where they stand. If that is the case, I don't know what you do if you're the Warriors. Maybe you go try to ring on the doorsteps of Philadelphia. Can we see if, is Joel Embiid happy there? I feel like they've already missed the Giannis wave. He just recently re-upped. He's got Dame now. I'm looking at some of the players and prospects that the Warriors have had, right? Let's keep in perspective. They did have a top 3 pick. They turned it into James Wiseman. James Wiseman, I don't even think he's in the rotation in Detroit right now. So we might be at the point now we could say that was just a bad pick altogether. I'm looking at this team and I'm saying, Jordan Poole picking Klay Thompson over him, that don't seem smart today. It would have been tough to break up the Splash Brothers by picking Poole over Klay. The truth of the matter is we taking emotions out of it. I mean, you have Poole, Wiseman, you still got Kuminga, you still got Moody. Man, you had some pieces to go get another star. And you had some older contracts in Klay Thompson's, right, or Draymond's over the years. You had pieces to go get another star. As great as this Warriors regime has been, as much credit as we give this Warriors regime, we can finally look and say, all right, y'all won a lot, but now on the back end of it, it may have been a year too late for the Warriors to put a contending team around Steph Curry, as his last years in the Warriors look like they could very well be years of not contending. I want to thank y'all so much for the time, love, and support. Is what your boy would never take for granted. Y'all let me know, what are your thoughts on the Golden State Warriors, the Draymond Green situation, the Klay Thompson situation? What would you do if you are Steve Kerr and that Warriors regime? What are you thinking if you're Steph Curry right now? Just going out there dropping 30, losing, close games at that? Let me know. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple, to be the best there's ever been. So please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories. I talk music. I cover sports. I am culture. I am Ferro.